Mr. Karavet, for lack of a better term, is a slumlord, plain and simple. I've been a building inspector for 30 years. I've seen the very worst of the worst. You can look at the records and you can see for yourself. Building code violations for dangerous and hazardous porches. Violations that exist for more than 2 or 3 years. Hearing after hearing where Mr. Karavet failed to appear at building court. In fact, he has a court date on April 7th, 2 days after the election, for a dangerous and hazardous porch that he was cited for as far back as September of '09. It's a dangerous and hazardous porch. Building code violations as simple to fix as a smoke detector that took 3.5 years in some cases. It takes you 5 minutes to go down to the hardware store and buy a smoke detector and install it in an apartment to keep the family safe. He's had numerous judgments leveled, fines and judgments levied against him, and I'm not going to sit here and go into all the details. You can see it for yourself online. You can look at the record and make your own determination. Mr. Karavet, plain and simple, is a slumlord.
The buildings in question are buildings that I own, buildings that I've bought as my own investments. This is part of what I consider my income. This is what supports me and my family. The idea of that I am a slumlord or that I don't take care of my building is an out-and-out falsity. Everybody who walks up to my properties, especially here in Portage Park, knows that they're the gems of the neighborhood. We take excellent care of them. My tenants have been with me. Some of them have been with me since 1996, and others have been with me as short as 2 to 3 years. My building, one of the buildings in question that I have violations on, I own in Bridgeport, and again, I would welcome anyone to go take a look at it, and I've invited all the newspapers, both the Tribune, the Sun-Times, and a gentleman from the New York Post, as well as a radio station, to come out, meet me, or go on your own, and they have. They've gone without me, looked at the building, looked inside, talked to my tenant, see the condition of the building, and know that when you own property, you're always going to have something going on. There's always a constant maintenance. It's part of the business of owning real estate and owning rental property. The idea and the allegations of all the violations I have somehow coincide and are with when we have tenant issues. And when we have a tenant issue there, and a tenant's in the process of being evicted, he or she loves to do a lot of damage. As well as in the process, they will fight tooth and nail not to have to go out, and the city is constantly being called on that property. None of my properties have ever been in a situation of total neglect. They've never been in a situation of minor neglect. We take good care of the properties, and again, that invitation is open to everyone to take a look at my properties. And when you look at the website that was put up so lovingly in my name, it shows over 19 accounts of violations where probably, and it shows a counting of 132. In actuality, there are under 40 violations in the years that I've owned those properties.